How many of us have heard the starfish story about a little boy throwing starfish into the ocean? Despite being disparaged by an older man, the story ends with the boy giving the famous line, "It mattered to that one." While it's a great story that's been popular for decades, the original story has so much more depth. It was written in 1978 by Loren Eisley, a science writer, based on experiences from his own life. Eisley goes on a trip to a coastal tourist town alone. He's in a pessimistic and difficult place in his life. The trip is a soul-searching one for him. As he contemplates his life and his many challenges, he feels especially lonely. One evening, as Eisley walks thoughtfully along the beach, he notices that there is sea life scattered along the beach due to the low tide. There are professional shellers and tourists who are anxiously picking them up to cook or sell. The stranded creatures don't stand a chance. This frantic grasping for personal gain adds to Eisley's feelings of pessimism toward humanity. The next morning at dawn, Eisley goes to the beach for another walk. The same gatherers are still on the beach, but this time he notices a lone figure on the horizon on a rocky part near a cove. As Eisley gets closer, he sees the man picking up starfish from the small tide pools and throwing them back into the sea. He approaches the man and strikes up a conversation. The star-throwing man, with kindness in his eyes, tells him, "The stars throw well. One can help them." Eisley is astounded at his optimism. As he walks away, he's filled with cynicism about the man's futile goal. Into the evening, Eisley contemplates more about life, has a change of heart, and then decides to revisit the star thrower the next day. On the beach the next morning, standing beside the star thrower, Eisley quietly picks up and throws a starfish into the ocean. Eisley then says, "I understand. Call me another thrower," and tells himself that he won't let the star thrower be alone in his mission to save a life, one at a time. It concludes with Eisley and the star thrower standing together looking out at the sea. Eisley writes, "But we, pale and alone and small in that immensity, hurled back the living stars. Somewhere far off, I felt as though another world was flung more joyfully. I could have thrown in a frenzy of joy, but I set my shoulders and cast, as the thrower, slowly, deliberately as well. The task was not to assumed lightly, for it was men as well as starfish that we sought to save." Live Rad is about average people attempting to help others while also encouraging others to join in. Let's never stop looking for starfish to save, and better yet, invite others to join us in our ideas and efforts. We hope that Live Rad becomes a community of starfish throwers.